So today I'm going to show you how to remove your fog lights or driving lights from a Subaru Forester SF model. This is a 2002 facelift GT, but I'm sure even the earlier model SFs will be exactly the same. And also going to run through the process of applying some tint film, vinyl tint film, to the driving lights as well. So to remove these driving lights, there's 2 screws. But when you look, you will see 3 screws. So there's an obvious screw here. That's probably the most forward screw. That doesn't need to be touched. The screws you need to remove are further at the back here. There are a Phillips, but you could also put a hex socket on them if you could get a socket in there. So there's one. There's the regular Phillips, you leave that, and then at the back here, just get a bit of focus so you can see it in there. That's the second one that you want to remove. There it is. So 1, 2. Now it's a little tricky to get in there because the light is actually kind of in the way, but you can do it. Just make sure you got a good grip on the Phillips. Try not to strip them out. So I'll take that out now and then we'll show you. So this outside screw I've managed to get loose, but the inside one, it's difficult to get to on an angle and it's starting to strip. So I've got a really skinny 8mm socket with a skinny extension up in there, and that's going to be able to loosen it off, and then I can probably finish that off with the screwdriver. There is a chrome plastic surround on this light which I can try and clip off, but to give myself a bit more space here, but I'm a bit fearful I'm going to snap the tabs or something on it, so I'm just going to leave that for the moment. So there's the 2 screws out. Now to get the light out from here, it's a bit of a 2-hand job, but you really just need to give it sort of a wriggle around in all directions and just pull on it, not too tight. Don't pull too hard. There we go, one-handed. And then the light will fall out like so. Then the easiest thing to do is to just twist the globe to remove it, so we can free up the light. So it's got a little arrow on it. Sorry about the camera work. Okay, so the globe is just a twist and then just pull it out. We'll leave that hanging. And there's the driving light removed. Now the next thing I'll show you is how to apply the vinyl tint film. So you can do this when the driving lights are still on the car, but because these lights have this chrome sort of trim that hangs over the edge of the light a little bit, I wanted to remove the lights from the car and remove the trim. So to remove this trim, there's just a little locking tab here. Just have to flex that over like so, and it comes off. And so we'll give the light a bit of a clean up, and then we'll cut the tint to size and I'll show you how to put that on. So I'm just going to give the lenses a bit of a clean with a glass cleaner. Make sure there's no crap stuck to them. They're all nice and clean and shiny. I've got a glass cleaning microfiber cloth. So you want to clean them really well, make sure there's nothing stuck to them so that the vinyl's going to stick nicely. Alright. So the tin film I got just off eBay from an Aussie seller. It's an A4 sheet, so it's generally big enough to get 2 driving lights covered. what I would usually do is try and make a template first, just from some paper of the contour of the light, and then use that as sort of a pattern to then cut the vinyl. So I'm going to try and mark the template out just on a piece of paper. So I'm actually going to hold, because the light's got a curve to the surface, I'm actually just going to hold it in my hand and start by just marking the sides roughly. We'll mark that end a little bit as well. And then we'll cut that out and just tune it up as we need. There we go, good slide. Right. Looks pretty good. Another thought I've just had is to actually use this chrome driving light surround to mark the template. Could work well. So let's have a look. Yes, I think that's much better idea. Before I go on, one thing I just remembered, you need to, the vinyl, you need to test a small corner. So pull up the film, because there's a sticky side and just a normal side. So that side's not sticky, so that faces outwards, because what we need to do is mark the sticky side so we know which film to peel off first and stick against the light. So this side, if we peel it back, you can hear that, that's the sticky side. So we need to find that side and just mark it on our main sheet, preferably before we start doing anything. I'm just going to trace the pattern onto the vinyl. The vinyl has a protective film on each side, so there's no problems just to sort of draw on it. Alright, we'll cut that out. That looks like a pretty good size. It doesn't matter if it doesn't come all the way to the edges, because the trim covers it anyway, and also that's pretty much just the edge of the globe. There's no light shining through there anyway. So for the next stage, you want maybe a hobby knife or something just to pick the clear film off. An old credit card or something for smoothing out the air bubbles. And once everything's on, a hairdryer on the hottest setting kind of shrinks the film to the glass, so that'll keep it on nice and tight and gets rid of any imperfections. So anyway, once it's on there now, take that outer protective film off, and then we'll hit it with the hairdryer on hot setting to just shrink that film over the edges a bit nicer. So that's the tint done and the driving lights reinstalled. It's a bit of a fiddle around to get the lights back in correctly, but just be patient. Put the lights on, give you a quick look. There you go.